Dear students, hello and welcome to this lecture in marketing management, and we are going to talk about pricing case studies. So, in this lecture we are going to talk about 3 case studies on important pricing strategies. So, let me proceed with the slides and introduce you to what the case studies we are going to discuss. So, here we are going to take 3 cases one by one. So, our first case is entitled as designing dynamic pricing model for an e-commerce platform. So, we will talk about dynamic pricing and how dynamic pricing works, and we will take the example of an e-commerce platform. In the second case, we are going to talk about how to apply value based pricing, and we will talk about the museum. So, in the museum people go and they buy ticket and they see the museum and they sometimes purchase the artifacts available. So, we will talk about how value based pricing works in case of a museum, and in the case 3 we will study about the case in which we will talk about a restaurant. So, combating food and labor costs with effective price increase. So, we will talk about the restaurant that faces increase in costs, and because of the increase in costs it has to increase the price also, but then there is a dilemma which is faced by the restaurants. There are 2 dilemmas. One, if it will increase the price, consumers will stop visiting that restaurant, and if it will increase price, then the competitors will gain consumers. So, it will suffer losses in the longer run. So, these are the 3 case studies that we are going to talk about in this session. Let us proceed and take these cases one by one. So, let us take the first case first. So, reading again the title of the case. So, this case talks about designing dynamic pricing model for an e-commerce platform. So, as we know that e-commerce platforms are becoming extremely popular nowadays, and almost many of the products and many of the services are available on e-commerce platforms. So, there are websites and apps on which the users can or the consumers can directly order the product, and they can pay money online and the product would be delivered to their home, or they can also choose the cash on delivery option, wherein they can pay the money in cash when the product arrives at their homes. So, these are e-commerce. So, e-commerce is actually helping the companies also to get consumers, and it is helping the consumers also. And the magic about e-commerce is that the purchase can be made any time of the day. So, today the purchasing is literally being made 24/7, and the consumers do not have to wait for the shop to open in the morning so that they can purchase products. They can simply purchase products even in the middle of the night by ordering the product on e-commerce platforms. So, here we have a specific industry, that is e-commerce industry, and we are talking about an industry. So, there is a firm in the e-commerce industry that sells basically flowers and gift baskets. So, we have a company. So, let me read out the theme of this case. The theme says, e-commerce has become a popular platform for people to buy from. So, it is really a very popular platform nowadays, and a lot of people are using e-commerce, and with the penetration of mobile phones, e-commerce has become all the more popular, and with the penetration of high speed internet and mobile phones and the UPI apps and the payment apps, e-commerce has become extremely popular, extremely convenient. Still, from the pricing point of view, the companies have to re-evaluate their pricing strategies in order to remain competitive. Now, there is a lot of competition in the e-commerce space. So, because everybody is coming on the digital platform, everybody is using online platforms to sell their products using e-commerce model. So, there is a lot of competition, and in order to woo customers, in order to get customers and increase market share, companies are using different types of strategies in order to capture the market share. And therefore, today any company that is present on the e-commerce platform has to re-evaluate its strategy time and again in order to remain viable, or otherwise in the longer run it is going to vanish because of the competition. So, this is the theme of e-commerce, and let's now discuss about the challenge. So, the challenge in this case study is that an e-commerce retailer dealing in flowers and gift baskets faced the following dilemma. So, we have an e-commerce retailer or an online retailer who is facing some dilemma, and what that retailer is selling is that retailer is selling flowers and gift baskets online, and that retailer is facing the following dilemma. The dilemma is to extract maximum profits from perishable items being sold online is a complex task. So, that company is not able to maximize its profit. It is selling a perishable item online. So, that product which is flowers, they cannot be kept for long, they have to be brought and sold that very day, otherwise the flowers will not remain fresh, and when the flowers are not fresh, the consumers will not purchase them. So, the material would be wasted, and in this way the organization would suffer losses. So, the challenge is to extract maximum profits from perishable items such as flowers, and this is an complex task. This is not easy. If the prices are too high, now this point explains why it is not easy. So, this point says that if the prices are too high, the products remain unsold, and if the prices are too low, the revenue loss occurs. So, if the prices would be too high, people will not purchase them, and therefore, the products will remain unsold, and because it is a perishable product, it cannot be stored for long. So, the product will become waste and it will have to be thrown, and the company will suffer losses. So, this is a big dilemma. The second dilemma says that if the products are priced too low, then the inventory will vanish quickly, and because the inventory will vanish quickly, the companies will not be able to make, the company will not be able to make sufficient revenue, and if it fails to make sufficient revenue, then it will again suffer losses, because the profits would not be sustainable and the company will have to halt its business operations. So, in terms of prices, the company cannot go too high, the company cannot go too low. So, most of the SKUs were parts of multiple offerings. Now, this is one more challenge. Now, SKU basically refers to stock keeping unit. So, SKU is basically the stock keeping unit or the product unit, we can say. So, it is technically in the retail parlance, it is called SKU. We can call it product unit. So, most of the SKUs were parts of multiple offerings, hence prices of each SKU needed to be optimized based on demand of different products. So, let us take the example of chocolates. So, chocolate boxes were a part of different types of offerings that the company was giving to the customer, and therefore, the prices of the chocolate box need to be optimized, and these need to be optimized based on demand of different products. So, if there are, suppose there are two offerings, offering A and offering B, and chocolate is a part of offering A also and chocolate is a part of offering B also, but if offering B demand is less while offering A demand is less while offering B demand is high. So, with offering A, the chocolate will have to be priced high in order to get sustainable profit, while the chocolate can be priced low with offering B. So, this kind of a dilemma, and these are the challenges which the company is facing, and being a perishable product, the challenges all the more grow in volume, and it is an e-commerce company basically. So, these are the challenges that the company is facing. So, now what is to be done is a dynamic pricing model has to be followed here, and that dynamic pricing model has to be based on the demands of the consumer. That dynamic pricing model has to be based on the other factors, the demand, the kind of the particular offering that the company is giving. So, let us see that how this challenge was ultimately resolved. So, here lies the solution. So, there was a 3-step dynamic pricing model which was set up that revised prices daily. So, daily revision of prices through a dynamic pricing model was the solution which was offered to this company, which was facing so many challenges that we studied in the last slide. So, designing the analytical model by conducting extensive review of academic literature related to dynamic pricing. So, the first step that was taken was that the academic review, the literature which was available on dynamic pricing, an extensive review of that literature was done in order to understand fully what dynamic pricing means and how it works. Then the second step was taken as development of a dynamic pricing model based on daily levels of inventory. So, the levels of inventory were checked daily, and also the demand was tracked on a daily basis, and based on the levels of inventory and demand on a daily basis. So, these two were tracked for a long period of time, and based on these two factors, a dynamic pricing model was made and the prices were refreshed every night. So, every night based on the demand on a particular day and the level of inventory, the prices were revised, and in the morning the prices were set. So, the prices that were revised during the night, in the morning the products or the offerings were given at the same price which were revised, and on a daily basis the prices were revised depending on the demand and the level of inventory. So, this was a dynamic pricing model which was given to this company. Now, once it was developed, it was scaled and tested. So, scaling and testing was the third step that took place. The dynamic pricing model of pricing for SKUs, it was scaled and tested and finally then implemented. So, it generated optimized prices every morning. So, this actually catered to many challenges simultaneously, and the challenges that we saw in the last slide, those challenges were catered through this type of a dynamic pricing solution which was offered to the company. Now, what was the result? The result was that the product pricing got optimized first of all. Second result was that equilibrium was achieved between customers' demand and levels of inventory. Then 6% improvement was observed, and this improvement was observed in terms of profit margin over current pricing practices. So, the pricing practices which were followed by the company and the dynamic pricing model which was given to the company. So, after applying that dynamic pricing model, a 6% improvement over the profit margins were observed, and not only 6% improvement over the profit margins were observed, but there were improvements in revenue growth also. And last but not the least, a very important thing that took place was 48% reduction in waste. Now, this waste was being generated because the company was dealing with a perishable item. So, even that waste got reduced by 48%. Now, this is a very substantial percentage, and the company was able to generate more profits and revenues for itself. So, this is how a dynamic pricing model was given to this e-commerce company which was selling perishable items, and it made profits. We move on to case study 2. So, case study 2 talks about applying value based pricing for museum growth. Now, let us talk about this. So, we know that what value based pricing means. The value based pricing means the pricing which is basically tracking the consumer's demand. So, value based pricing is the pricing which is based on consumers' demand and how the consumers perceive the value of that product. So, the industry that we are talking about is hospitality and tourism, because museum comes in this industry, and the theme of the case is in modern experience economy. So, today is an experience economy. So, the service industry has become the experience industry. So, when we go to a museum or when we go to an amusement park or a zoo, all we come out with is experience. So, this is the experience economy. It would not be wrong to call it an experience economy. So, in the modern experience economy, traditional museums have seen a steady decline in attendance as a result of attractive online exhibits that are so appealing to the masses. So, this is the era of digital communication, and we have so many portals, we have social media available with us. So, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on all these platforms attractive exhibits are available, videos are available, and these videos and these exhibits are so popular to the masses that after watching these videos, the people of today do not feel a need to visit museums, and as a result the museums have been witnessing a steady decline in the attendance of the visitors. So, this is what it is written here, and the issue has to be dealt with change in pricing strategy. So, in order to get more customers, in order to make people visit the museum, in order to make people in order to capture new visitors as well as holding on to the regular visitors, the change in the pricing strategy is what is something which is very much desired, because people today are hooked on to their smartphones and they are watching exhibits and videos on their smartphones. So, it is not easy for a museum organization to get them off their smartphone and call them in the museum. So, it is not easy to get those visitors, and therefore, the attendance is declining steadily. So, this is a challenge for the museums. Now, let us talk about the challenge here. So, there is a National Science Museum, and that National Science Museum is basically facing a problem of low attendance. So, visitors count is decreasing, and what it wants is, it wanted to understand how customers make their choices. So, why do customers come to museum or refrain from coming to museum? So, the Science Museum had two companion museums also. So, in addition to the Science Museum, there was an Aviation Museum as well as there was a Agricultural Museum. So, there was a membership fee for all the three. So, this is the scenario right now. So, there is a membership fee for all the three museums, the Science Museum and the Aviation Museum and the Agricultural Museum. So, with the decline in the attendance, the museum was in the dilemma of getting reasonable ROIs. So, the museum had recently spent a lot of money on renovation, and because it has spent the money on renovation and even after that it was not getting consumers, it was not getting visitors. So, there was a problem of getting reasonable ROI. Now, ROI stands for returns on investment. So, although the museum had invested a lot of money, but it was not getting adequate returns on its investments. So, it wanted a pricing strategy for science and companion museums, parking lot, membership fees, etc. So, a new type of pricing strategy was required by the museum in order to get more visitors to it. So, this was the challenge. Now, the solution which was offered to the museum was that a value based pricing model was suggested. So, a value based model is basically based on customers' perceived value and demand. So, whatever the customer perceives the value of the product or the service, this model is based on that perceived value as well as it has to track the consumer's demand. The good thing about this strategy is that it always goes with the sentiments of the consumer, and the flip side is that the organization always has to track the consumer. So, organization has to maintain the data of the consumer, organization has to track the movement of the consumer, and it has to be in touch with the consumer at all the times if this strategy has to be followed in a better way. So, therefore, a value based pricing model was suggested and the following steps were taken. So, the steps taken, the first step was competitive analysis was done. So, in competitive analysis, pricing strategies of other museums were studied. In the second point, customers were surveyed for price and perceived value at science, aviation and agricultural museums, and their needs and expectations were also recorded. So, like I said, that while using value based pricing, the customer sentiments, expectations, needs, etc. are recorded. So, likewise it is mentioned here that the customers were surveyed for price. So, the customers were taken feedback from that what do they want, what do they perceive, what do they think about this particular museum and the companion museums, and how much price are they expecting the museum to charge from them, and their needs and expectations were properly duly recorded. After that, the third step was taken. In the third step, the quantitative and qualitative research was done, which was based on 1000 consumers data, and these consumers were living around the museum in a radius of 100 kilometer. So, the data was collected in a very proper way. It was collected through the use of a structured questionnaire, and this data was then used for conducting qualitative and quantitative research, and proper value based pricing was applied, which was a result of measuring and gauging consumers' sentiments with respect to the museum and the companion museums. So, with this solution, the result that came out to be was highly encouraging. Value based pricing was recommended that captured all three museums, the Science Museum, the Aviation Museum as well as the Agricultural Museum. Benefits were given to the customers with respect to parking charges for early enrollment. So, this was one very good move, that whosoever comes and joins the museum membership early on would be given free parking. So, that was a benefit that was perceived as enhancement of value, and therefore, a lot of consumers joined the membership for that free parking which was offered for early enrollment. Then the footfall increased to around 3 lakh visitors within the first 4 months of implementing the new pricing strategy. So, it actually shoots the number of footfalls, and it increased to around 3 lakhs within the 4 months of implementing the new strategy. Membership increased threefold. So, this is an extremely encouraging result that was observed, that the membership of the museums, all three museums went threefolds, and the operating revenue rose by 85%. So, 85% is a very substantial amount, and the operating revenues grew. So, here we see in this particular case that how value based pricing helps the museum and the companion museums to increase their membership and increase the footfall. So, ultimately this value based pricing worked for the museum. Now, we move on to the last case of this lecture, that is the case 3. Now, in this case we are taking the case of a restaurant, and the scenario is that the restaurant is combating food and labor cost with effective price increase, and the industry is restaurant and QSR. The theme of this case is, apart from fierce competition, restaurants face additional challenges in terms of rise in minimum wages and cooking material prices. So, restaurants also operate in a very highly competitive environment. There are so many restaurants, and any given restaurant faces so many competition, so many competitors in its market, and this competition is to grab the customers. So, in addition to this competition, there are many more challenges, like if the Minimum Wage Act gets revised and if the minimum wage gets increased. So, that means that the workers have to give their the restaurant has to give their workers more money in form of wages, and simultaneously if there is an increase in the prices of the cooking material, then this also becomes a very big challenge, and it is very problematic for the restaurant to deal with these challenges. The reason being that if the restaurant charges a very high price from the customer, then the customer will drift away from that particular restaurant. On the other hand, if the restaurant is not charging a high price and it is bearing the burden of all these high costs, then in the longer run it will not be able to make sustainable profits, and if it is not able to make sustainable profits, then it will have to shut down the business. So, this is what the challenge is. So, price increase could result in a loss of customers, while if it does not increase the price, then it could result in the loss of business. So, now we talk about what the challenge is. A restaurant, we are talking about a restaurant, and a restaurant observed that the traditional cost based strategy is no longer relevant with increasing wage cost and material cost. So, currently what it was following was cost based strategy, or we should also call it markup pricing. So, it was following the cost based pricing or the markup pricing, but it observed that because the wages have been revised and because the prices of the cooking material has increased, so this markup pricing was not working anymore, and therefore, it was looking for a new pricing strategy in order to sustain itself, in order to earn decent profits to operate in the longer run. Last but not the least, another kitty of challenge was promotions. So, because it is operating in a highly competitive space, promotions are very much necessary, and if it stops promotions or if it stops advertising, then again it will suffer losses, because people will gradually forget it in the due course of time. So, in order to make people aware of its presence in the market, and in order to make people recall about its presence in the market, it has to make continuous promotions and advertising. So, promotion and advertising are an added burden, We are calling them burden because the promotions are costly. So, whether it is an online promotion or whether it is a paper promotion or radio promotion, promotions do have their own costs. Due to fierce competition, promotions are a must. So, the restaurant can neither give up promotion, and with increasing promotion costs and increasing other costs and fierce competition, it is extremely difficult for it to operate and maintain decent profits. Now, in the kitty of challenge, the third point is extremely important for us to understand that restaurant is not alone here. The rapid expansion of third party online food delivery apps such as Uber Eats etc. gives the customer access to competition as never before. So, restaurant is surrounded by challenges. The number one challenge is fierce competition. The number two challenge is the revised wage policy. So, it has to pay more wages to its worker. The number three challenge is the increasing price of the food material, the raw material. The number four challenge is it cannot stop promotions because it is operating in a fiercely competitive space. The number five challenge is online food delivery apps are giving the consumers the convenience of ordering food online, and therefore, they are putting the competition literally in the hands of the consumers, and consumers are no more willing to visit the restaurant, rather they are willing to order food on Uber Eats and get it delivered to their doorsteps. So, this was the kitty of challenge that particular restaurant faced. The solution that was offered was customers were segmented, and customers were segmented into different categories. Now, 4 customer segments were identified using the existing customer data. So, data was studied very carefully and then customer segments were created, and let me read out these segments to you. So, weekend warrior was one segment of consumer which was visiting the restaurant on weekend. Then similarly, other segments were created like weekday warrior. So, weekday warrior was a segment of consumers which were surely visiting the restaurant on one of the weekdays. Then another segment was pickup warrior. So, pickup warrior was the segment of those consumers that did not sit and eat in the restaurant, but rather preferred to pick and carry their food and go away. So, like this the consumer profiles were created, various consumers profiles were created, segments were created after going through the consumer data, after going through the historical consumer data. Pricing was differentiated. So, for each of the segments pricing was differentiated. So, no longer was the restaurant working on a fixed markup type of a system. So, pricing was differentiated and improved for each different segments so identified, and predictive modeling was used to set up prices based on 2 years historical data of the consumers footfall. Prices were increased, but they were increased in such a manner that each of the consumer segment got more value than before, and competitive analysis was done for optimizing promotions. So, the restaurant decided to deal with prices, it decided to deal with promotions. For optimizing promotions, it took help of the competitive analysis and observed what competition is doing and how it can optimize its promotion. While in case of pricing, the pricing was optimized and various segments were set up, and then for each of the different segment pricing was then done differently. So, what were the results? The results from the study, the results from the solution were within 3 months the sales went up by 20%. So, there was a 1/5 increase in sale in 3 months, and even with an increase in prices, no change in the restaurant traffic was observed. So, because each segment was dealt differently, there was no change of, there was no impact of the price increase on the traffic that was visiting the restaurant. So, the traffic was visiting the restaurant as before. The third good impact which was made was 5% increase in potential sales opportunities was discovered. So, sales opportunities, newer sales opportunities were also discovered, and hence we say that a effective price increase. So, we say that value this kind of a price strategy worked here. So, markup pricing or cost based pricing was given up, and then different segments were served differently. So, with this we come to the end of this lecture, and we observed 3 case studies here. The first case study dealt with how the price change could bring benefit, and the second case study dealt with the value based pricing, and the third case study dealt with how markup pricing was given up by a restaurant and segment based pricing was taken up. So, with these 3 case studies I come to the end of this lecture. For any queries, please write down to me at my email ID ashishashish.awasthi@imsec.ac.in. I will be more than happy to take your queries. Thank you so much.